A new report out tonight says the number of prisoners in America was at its highest level ever last year. 1.8 million adults were behind bars. That's up 4.4% from 1997 and more than double the prison population back in 1985. 3 of the nation's most notorious inmates have developed a relationship of sorts, yelling across the yard at Colorado's Supermax prison. As Jim Stewart tells us, an infamous gang leader went to court for permission to join in.
It's no accident that convicted Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, World Trade Center terrorist Ramzi Yousef, and Oklahoma City bomber Timothy Mcveigh are all housed here in the same super secure federal prison in Florence, Colorado. After all, this is where all the baddest of the bad are kept. But what has surprised prison guards is that lately the 3 men have begun having small chats in the exercise yard, and now a federal judge has agreed to let this inmate, Luis Felipe, leader of New York's Latin Kings gang, join in the conversation.
Felipe was in solitary confinement because somehow, even from prison, he'd managed to order the death of others. But when his lawyer saw that the other big 3 inmates, Kaczynski, Mcveigh, and Yousef, had allegedly been meeting and talking about everything from the news to what was on television, he petitioned that his client be allowed to join in.
The government objected. It is difficult to justify allowing his first contact with other prisoners to be with such relatively sophisticated and dangerous individuals, prosecutors said, even though Felipe himself is serving life plus 45 years for racketeering. The judge disagreed. If Felipe wants to chat with Mcveigh or even the reclusive Unabomber, then go ahead, he said. Ramzi Yousef, on the other hand, was ruled off limits since he still has terrorist connections. So legally, for 1 hour a day, 2 days a week, the men can leave their 7 by 12-foot cells and chat all they want.
Only now it turns out it may not matter. Felipe's lawyer says he has late word that his client has changed his mind. Having won his court battle, the gang leader says he's now going to stay in his cell because he wants nothing to do with the 3 men that he refers to as those bombers. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
And that's the news later on CBS 60 Minutes.